Welcome. I'm Sally Hale of the League of Women Voters of Clark County. For 101 years now, the nonpartisan nonprofit league has been committed to empowering voters and defending democracy. To that end, we'd like to share a history moment with you featuring Tracy Reilly Kelly, our league historian, about the candidates Soapbox, Kegger, and Hotter Than Air Fair.
Hi, this is Tracy Reilly Kelly, the historian for the League of Women Voters. You know, one of my greatest joys of being a historian and working in the archives for the League is learning about the endlessly creative methods that League members have thought about bringing issues and candidate forums over the years. We've been so ingenious over the years. One fantastic example is in 1970, the Candidate Soapbox Kegger and Hotter Than Air Fair event that was held in 1970. These were a terrific example of a lively and festive way to bring a voter forum to a greater number of people in the community. And in fact, innovation was needed in the late 1960s. Attendance by candidates at the voter forum had collapsed. Only about a quarter of the candidates were appearing. A solution was needed. The Columbian even wrote an article about it. It was embarrassing. So, partnering with the Lucky Brewery was turned out to be the perfect way to loosen up the traditionally very sober gathering. Now, Lucky was a large brewery that occupied a very big footprint in downtown Vancouver. So picture this, it went from Washington Street over to Esther Short Park, from Fifth Street up to Ninth Street. And they had in the inside of the Lucky Brewery a big hall, which they called the City Hall. So candidates were invited to set up tables and booths all along the City Hall. And then prospective voters would enjoy a lucky beverage and they would stroll around and listen to the candidates. So when in 1970, each candidate who appeared at the 1970 candidate soapbox kegger then had 60 seconds to answer a lightning rod question. To the assessor, do you believe that assessments should be at 100%? Well, guess what? High assessments were a problem in 1970 also. And so there was great unhappiness, and that candidate said, yes, but not at 141% of the value. But the greatest and most fun question was given to state representative candidates. And you know what that question was? Does the governor have the power to deal with rock festivals? All right, boomers, did you know that in 1970, right after Woodstock was held in New York, Washougal, Washington held the 10-day Sky River Rock Festival? Oh, it was all the thing. Can you imagine how much we would have liked to have been there? The statewide John Birch Society was incredibly opposed to this whole thing. And when the question was asked, unsuccessful state representative candidate Dick Smythe said, the goal is to prevent a second occurrence in Clark County. There should be state statutes so festivals will never be allowed in any county in this state again. Okay, well, it's really something to think about, isn't it, with all the microbreweries that innovative leaguers might be thinking about some new ideas for candidate keggers in the future, just like in the past. Thanks to the Clark County Historical Museum's digital online archive housed at WSU Vancouver's site. And if you look at the email, we'll show you just how to visit it.